Never let who you're hanging with hang you out to dry. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20, and the Living Bible says, become wise by walking with the wise. Hang out with fools and watch your life fall to pieces. If you're moving on up, you don't need the company of negative or nasty people. Now listen, if someone's been negative and they're willing to listen to what you say so that you can move them from their old way of thinking to a new way of thinking, if they're willing to let God transform them into a new person by changing the way they think, as it says in Romans 12:2, then you can hang out with them. But otherwise, if you're moving on up, you need to be away from negative people, and sometimes those negative people are even in your own family. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 28 in the Contemporary English Version. David's oldest brother Eliab heard him talking with the soldiers. Eliab was angry and said, what are you doing here anyway? Who's taking care of that little flock of sheep out in the desert? You spoiled brat, you came here to watch the fighting, didn't you? Eliab was not only negative, he was nasty to David. You need to carefully consider David's response. Verse 28, and David said, what have I done? Is there not a cause? See, that's a powerful question. Is there not a cause? Isn't there something that you're willing to believe in? Something you're willing to fight for? And that's significant what David did next. Because in verse 29 it says, ignoring his brother, he turned to someone else, asked the same question, and got the same answers before. There are going to be people you're dealing with. And if they're giving you negative information, negative input, then what you need to do is do what David did to his brother. His brother got negative and nasty. David didn't argue with him. He just turned and started talking to somebody else. Never let negative people hang you out to dry. In fact, what you might do, you might just use the words of the old Dionne Warwick song, just walk on by. Don't pay attention to negative people who are not willing to change and listen to the Word of God. That's what I call getting to the point.